My name is Ibrahim Sultan. I'm a PhD holder from the United States of America, specializing in biomedical engineering and also electrical engineering. At the early stages of the COVID-19 pandemic, starting exactly somewhere in December of 2019, and when the whole crisis started and the chaotic behavior and also humanity going into crisis, a couple of thoughts came to my mind. One of them is how are we going to survive, or how are we going to fight this pandemic? Being human and being also not specialized in medicine, specifically not a medical doctor by profession, I thought of many ideas on how are we going to continue this coming months, and how are humans actually in specific going to engage and going to work together to overcome this pandemic. One of the thoughts that came to my mind, especially when knowing that the virus of COVID-19 spreads very fast between humans, and that not knowing exactly the symptoms and how to therapeutically treat this virus when any of the victims got caught by it. By the crisis, meaning that many of the humans are getting the COVID-19 virus. At the same time, the healthcare system doesn't have enough capacity to occupy all these patients, specifically by not knowing what kind of treatment needed to overcome the virus. So one of the things that came to my mind with these huge numbers, specifically when started hitting Italy, specifically in northern Italy, and by having a lot of patients either deceased or some of them having uncontrolled on how to treat them, it looked like that majority of human countries, or human by specific, they're going into either losing faith into the health system, and the health system might collapse. And this is one of the thoughts that still exist, and we can see so many of the countries during these times actually not surviving because of the healthcare system, and specifically for not having enough capacity for the intensive care unit. One of the main thoughts that came to me on how to fight it is actually spreading different ways of educating people on how to treat themselves at home. And by doing that, a lot of courage need to be given to them, and a lot of inspiration, and a movement such as what we have in mind here, what we called it hope, bringing hope to people, inspiring them and educating them the right way, was the only solution that I had in mind at that. So at the end of March 2020, I got approached by one of the non-profit organizations in Kuwait to design and produce one of the medical consumable items called face shield. The face shield is very productive consumable medical item. It used to protect the humans from any kind of suspicious coming from any of the patients who might have COVID-19. It protects the face in 3 places, which is the eye, nose, and the mouth. Unlike the other items such as the mask, which only covers the nose and the mouth. Now, going back to the hope, which by that saying that how am I going to bring the idea of spreading hope, spreading inspiration, and encouraging people to fight back COVID-19 on their own without, or if the medical healthcare facilities collapses at any countries. And we are in Kuwait, similar to any of the other countries. We have a very good medical system, but with knowing that the virus might spread very fast, we might get to the point where the health system might collapse. So that kind of idea, a horror idea, exists all the way, and still exists at this time that we are giving this video talk. So hope. By saying that, I thought of opening a campaign, establishing a campaign. This campaign coming from volunteers from national Kuwaitis who believe in what they have in hand, believe in themselves, believe that we Kuwaitis can survive, we can actually overcome this pandemic. By knowing that any virus has a certain life cycle, and by knowing how to interact with the viruses, we might have actually different ways of treating the virus, and that's what's been observed lately in most of the hospitals, either in Kuwait or outside of Kuwait. Now, going away from the virus itself and coming back to the campaign that I had in mind, how to establish and how to spread actually encouragement and inspiration to the society, specifically into Kuwait. Now, When I look back and try to think of all of the items that we had in mind, such as inspiration, encouragement, giving people all the elements needed to fight back, the only word comes to my mind is hope. By having hope, we always come back, we always have another day shining up and giving us more and more to fight back. So the word hope by itself can sum all of the elements needed to fight back the pandemic. So we are in Kuwait, so I had the idea of having the campaign called Kuwait, and only one word to be used, which is hope. We're spreading hope by producing so many solutions. Either it is material-wise, such as the face shield, or actually spreading information, which gives back hope and inspiration and encouragement to the society. So how do we in Kuwait Hope things? We think in a way that we want to bring solutions and provide help to the society, especially in Kuwait, and we hope that we can spread this information and spread the inspiration and also encouragement not only to Kuwait but also the surrounding countries and all humanities. So by looking at one of the items that we have developed, which is the face shield. The face shield is basically, as I explained previously, it looks like this, and it has some of the elements that's needed, which is the A4 transparent. We put a certain sticker that emphasizes on the collaboration that we have or partnership, specifically our logo, which is Kuwait Hope, and we always specify the name of our country, beloved country, Kuwait. A friendly sponge, elastic band, as simple as this, and this can protect people specifically in the front lines from the COVID-19. What we emphasize on in this campaign and also in Kuwait Hope is not only that we have the capability and we have the knowledge to bring solutions, but also to not use, or in a different way, we don't need to use a very sophisticated equipment to develop solutions. With a simple knowledge, with encouragement, working at the worst cases, such as the full curfew, partial curfew, with the simple items, raw materials that we have in hand, we can come together as volunteers who we love our country and develop such items. So the face shield, in principle, protect the humans and protect the Kuwaitis and the front lines from all those who are suspicious with having COVID-19. As simple as using raw materials, simple items that are located in the market, and working at the worst case scenarios such as the full curfew, the partial curfew. Still, we were able to produce such items in quantity that's needed per day, as much as 2,500 items per day. So our capability, with the knowledge and also the encouragement that we had, and with the hope that we will come back and we will be able to fight and win the pandemic, against the pandemic of COVID-19, we came together, we spread hope and encouragement and inspiration, and we hope that with this message we can spread more and more hope, not only to Kuwaitis but surrounding countries and all humans living on earth. Part of our campaign is not only to bring solutions to the Kuwait society or Kuwaitis, but also to bring solutions to anyone who's in need, in a sense that anyone who in need of solutions to protect themselves, fight back, or even any kind of thoughts that they have in mind that might bring any kind of productive item on the table and make us actually survive and fight back. We are all open to any suggestion and any comments, and also any kind of collaboration. We are in Kuwait Hope, welcome any kind of collaboration coming not only from Kuwait, outside of Kuwait. All of our social media accounts are listed here, so you can contact us and we will ensure that we can help and collaborate as much as we can to survive and also fight back the COVID-19 pandemic.